Karma has finally kicked Alina Haba right where she deserves it, and then it stomped on her to boot. And it couldn't have happened to a more deserving nitwit. Well, actually, yes, it could, but let's just be grateful for this one. Because actually, the humiliation is not nearly as public as it should be. Haba is one of Trump's favorite attorneys, but only because she's young, female, completely without ethics, and willing to bat her eyes at him. But in terms of actual skill, she has none. As a lawyer, she's about as dumb as a box of rocks. Working as Trump's defense attorney, she was chastised by judges on several occasions for, amongst other things, not even knowing how to file a motion correctly, nor how to enter evidence properly. These are things you learn in moot court in law school. But since Haba finished in the bottom 20% of her class, she may not have been eligible for moot court. Now, the most ironic thing about Haba is that she lost Trump's case brought by E. Jean Carroll, and she lost badly. Went down in flames kind of loss, and yet, because Trump values adoration and loyalty above anything else, he appointed her to be interim U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey. Haba immediately went to work by arresting the mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka. Remember this little scene outside the ICE facility in Newark?
Get off of me! Get your hands off of me! I'm not letting I'm not letting you cannot push you cannot push you cannot push get off of her!
So, okay, Mayor Baraka was arrested before Haba actually filed charges or opened a formal case against him, which is backwards for the legal process. It was backwards and it was stupid, and a judge let her know in no uncertain terms. And the occasion that he let her know it was when her office dropped the charges because they had no leg to stand on. So Judge Andre Espinoza let her have it, saying, "The hasty arrest of Newark Mayor Ras Baraka, followed swiftly by the dismissal of these trespassing charges a mere 13 days later, suggests a worrisome misstep by your office. An arrest, particularly of a public figure, is not a preliminary investigative tool. It is a severe action carrying significant reputational and personal consequences, and it should only be undertaken after a thorough, dispassionate evaluation of credible evidence." So the judge took Haba's office out to the woodshed. She, of course, was not there. She was off hiding because she knew that there was never any case. She knew she wasted the court's time and the government's resources for nothing more than political tactics. The judge knew she was hiding behind her frontline prosecutors, so he made it a point to say from the outset, "I'm aware that you are not the last word in charging decisions at the U.S. Attorney's Office, generally or in this case specifically. Nevertheless, you are here today on behalf of the United States and by extension on behalf of the 6th U.S. Attorney's Office. Therefore, it falls upon you to receive this message on behalf of those decision makers." In other words, he's speaking to Alina Haba. And the other part of the message that the judge wanted Haba to know is this. The apparent rush in this case, culminating today in the embarrassing retraction of charges, suggests a failure to adequately investigate, to carefully gather facts, and to thoughtfully consider the implications of your actions before wielding your immense power. Your office must operate with a higher standard than that. In other words, you're a disgrace. Get your act together. Well, that's more than likely going to happen, since Haba loses her job tomorrow. Trump appointed her as interim U.S. Attorney. She can't go forward without Senate confirmation, and in a Senate procedure that has screwed many a qualified Democratic nominee, both Senator Cory Booker and Andy Kim have pocketed the nomination so that it can't go forward. But there is one caveat for interim U.S. attorneys, and that is a vote by the district judges. If they demand that the nomination goes forward, then it has to. Here is the sound of those demands for Alina Haba by these district judges. Yep, Haba failed to get enough votes. What a shocker. So as of tomorrow, she's going to have to make sure the screen door doesn't hit her on the way out. Now that's karma. Oh, but it doesn't end there. Oh no, not with a Trump team player. A formal letter was sent to James Greer, head of the Office of Government Ethics, requesting an investigation of Haba for violations of the Hatch Act, campaigning for Trump while working as a government official. Of course there's ethics violations. She's on Team Trump. That's about as surprising as finding Guinness on tap at an Irish pub. Sadly, she can't go to jail for it. Equally as sad, this will do nothing in the MAGA media world to destroy Haba's credibility, even though it should. She'll still be propped up as some sort of Trump spokesperson with legal expertise. And when she does, they'll call her former acting U.S. attorney. But they should add to that, who failed to keep her job. So hit the bricks, Haba, because
you're fired. Get out of here. Right?
I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.